The Grease Eliminator. You and best management practices. Fats, oils, and leftover food scraps that are rinsed down the sink create problems for the city of Los Angeles and you. The major problem for the city is that this greasy waste is one of the main reasons for sewer blockages that can cause sewage to spill out on nearby city streets or inside your facility. This can be detrimental to your business and can pose a serious threat to public health and safety of the citizens and our environment. Since the City of Los Angeles is legally responsible for providing dependable sewer service to its residents and businesses, the city needs to take the necessary steps to prevent and eliminate as many sewer spills as possible. Grease blockages start when greasy waste enters the sewers as hot liquid. But within a very short distance, it cools, hardens, and sticks to the sewer pipes. Gradually, this cold solid grease builds up and creates a blockage. To keep the sewers free from grease blockages, the city is spending millions of dollars in additional sewer maintenance each year. Businesses, in turn, spend hundreds of dollars annually in pipe cleaning and maintenance. However, the most effective way to prevent grease-related blockages in pipes is to keep grease from entering them. This will benefit the city and you. It will save you money and the city invaluable resources. Above all, it will ensure public health and environmental safety. The city's Fats, Oil, and Grease Control Program includes new regulations that affect all food service establishments, including yours. These regulations will affect you as the business owner, manager, and employee. Most likely, these regulations will require you to change or incorporate new activities in your business routine or job duties. These activities are called Best Management Practices, or BMPs for short. Everyone at your food service establishment must understand and be trained on how to carry out your establishment's BMPs. In addition, these BMPs must be posted in all the work and process areas. One of the most important BMPs is the proper collection and storage of used fats, oils, and grease from your site's food processing areas. For example, if you have any equipment that generates waste grease, you cannot throw this waste down the sink, but instead you must drain and capture these substances from the equipment into a container. This container then must be emptied into your facility's designated storage containers that are picked up by a licensed waste hauler. When the licensed hauler picks up these storage containers, you must make sure that you get hauling records from your hauler, and you must keep these records on site for at least 3 years. Also, food scraps can no longer go down the sinks. Garbage disposals or food grinders will no longer be allowed in sinks, and all kitchen or process area sinks must now have screens covering the drainage outlets. These measures will prevent food scraps from entering the city's sewer system and will help eliminate grease blockages. So, how will you get rid of food scraps? By scraping the material off. Before rinsing or washing off used cookware, you will need to remove the grease and leftover food that are on them with a scraper or paper towels. This waste must be thrown away into a trash can. If you do throw this waste into a sink or down the toilet, you could end up having a grease blockage in the pipes of your building. Why should you care? As a business owner, cleaning these pipes can cost you hundreds of dollars each year in plumbing expenses. Not to mention the loss of business income and cleaning expense if the pipe blockages cause sewage backup into your food preparation areas. And the reason why you, the employee, should care is because someone will have to clean up that mess, and that someone could be you. Besides following these BMPs, your facility will have other BMPs that must be strictly followed, such as the proper method for cleaning your floor and floor mats. If you are cleaning the floor or floor mats due to a spilled liquid that contains oil and grease, there are steps you must take before mopping the floor or mats. First, before mopping up the spill, you must pick up most of it by using rags or absorbents, such as cat litter. This will remove most of the greasy liquid and will prevent it from flowing to the floor drains and into the sewer. The rags or absorbent that you use must then be discarded into a trash can. Regardless of why you are mopping the area, before you start, you must make sure all of the floor drain screens are clean, in place, and secured. This prevents food particles and trash that are on the mats or floor from entering the sewer system. If you notice a screen that is clogged with trash, remove the screen and dump the material into a trash can, and put the screen back over the floor drain before you start cleaning the floor or mats. When you're finished cleaning the floor, always pour the wash water into a mop sink, never outside where it can get into the storm drains. Besides these activities, there are other BMPs that you must incorporate into your business operation. For example, you must routinely check the absorbent material that is under your stove or fryer to make sure it is not saturated with oils. When it is, replace it with new absorbent. By keeping the absorbent material fresh, you'll keep hot oils and grease from entering the floor drains and prevent your floors from becoming slippery, which can be a safety hazard. Another BMP is keeping your water heater set below 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This is especially critical if your facility has grease removal devices. This is because water hotter than 140 degrees will prevent the grease removal devices, such as grease traps, from capturing the grease, sending the hot grease down into the drain, where it will cool and harden, causing a grease blockage. Facilities equipped with grease removal devices, such as grease interceptors or grease traps, will have additional BMPs. These BMPs include checking and cleaning the devices regularly. The capacity and the amount of grease discharged at each facility will determine the cleaning frequency for these devices. However, there are general guidelines that you must follow if your facility is equipped with grease removal devices to ensure that they are operating efficiently. Facilities equipped with a grease interceptor, which is a concrete box installed outside the building to collect the waste from sinks, floor drains, and dishwashers, must monitor the level of grease accumulated in these interceptors. An interceptor loses its effectiveness and does not separate grease properly when it is more than 25% filled with solids at the bottom and grease on the water surface. An interceptor captures large volumes of grease and must be routinely pumped by a liquid waste disposal company. This waste is then recycled or disposed of by the hauler. If not pumped and cleaned regularly, grease ends up going to the sewer instead of staying in the interceptor. However, not all facilities that need a grease removal device have installed an interceptor. Sometimes the installation of a grease interceptor is not feasible, and a smaller grease removal device such as a grease trap may be used. Grease traps are usually installed indoors under the sinks. If your facility has an approved grease trap or traps instead of a grease interceptor, the traps need to be checked often and cleaned regularly. Some grease traps, similar to interceptors, are pumped and serviced by licensed haulers. However, some grease traps can be emptied and cleaned by employees. Always follow your grease trap manufacturer's guidelines when cleaning and servicing the device. When cleaning the grease traps, make sure to remove any grease that is stuck inside or on any moving parts of the trap. The waste grease must be put into a designated storage container to be picked up by a licensed hauler. Any solids in grease trap baskets must be removed and put in the trash. While you're cleaning the grease traps, check the condition of the grease trap. If there are moving parts that are worn or broken, replace them immediately. If your facility has grease traps, you cannot connect dishwashers to them. Also, solvents or additives that emulsify grease are prohibited from entering grease traps, although common washing soaps used in reasonable quantities are okay. This is because water temperatures in excess of 140 degrees Fahrenheit and any strong solvents or additives can easily wash out all contents of a grease trap, and send grease down the drain. Although these are the main best management practices that you will be responsible for doing, your facility may have additional site-specific BMPs that need to be followed as well. How will the city know that you and all employees are following the necessary steps to comply with the regulations? By inspecting your facility at least once a year. These unannounced inspections are conducted by City of Los Angeles industrial waste inspectors. The visits are not pre-scheduled and occur during business hours. During the inspection, which can take 30 minutes to an hour, the inspector will make sure that you as the business owner, manager, and employee are following BMPs and all other requirements. This includes reviewing accurate and up-to-date hauling records about the proper disposal of waste grease. If you fail to implement BMPs, the city will require you to install a grease interceptor at your facility. Although these new regulations will impact your facility and you, by implementing best management practices, you will prevent grease-related blockages in the sewer system. Your facility will run more efficiently. You will save money in plumbing and maintenance costs, avoid the need to install a grease removal device, and recycle and conserve valuable resources. Most importantly, you will help make our community a cleaner, safer, and healthier place in which to live and work.